Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. A big update coming in. CNN News 18 has now accessed the copy of the FIR against Manish Sisodia. I believe my colleague Ashish Merishi is now joining us. Ashish, talk to us about the content as far as this FIR is concerned. Okay, we'll try and get Ashish back, but as I pointed out, CNN News 18 has accessed the copy of the FIR against Manish Sisodia. All of this in the backdrop of the raids that we saw earlier in the day by the CBI because of the excise policy that was implemented by the Delhi government. I believe Ashish Merishi is now joining us on the broadcast. Ashish, take us through the fine print and the content of the FIR.
So, we still need to go through, but it, in all likelihood, what we see as of now, the copy that we have in our hand as of now, it basically shows that how the Delhi government, in connivance with certain private individuals, basically, So this is the FIR copy that we have in our hand. This is the front page and the second page of the FIR that we have in our hand. So this basically is, and also talks about on how, even the Union Home Ministry was kept in loop, that they have found that yes, there is some sort of connivance of people who were public servants, including Manish Sisodia, and there are certain private individual companies who benefited out of it, and that is why these raids have been conducted. So certainly a big step by them, and this absolutely brings in details of how Manish Sisodia, in connivance with various individuals, have basically benefited out of a liquor policy which was not supposed to be done in law. So once we go through this, we can have more details, and we can give more details about to our viewers. So just give us 5-7 minutes to go through, and we'll get some more details on the FIR.
Ashish, as we go through the content as far as the FIR is concerned, since you've been tracking these developments as well, it's not just Manish Sisodia who's under the scanner, but certain private individuals who possibly were recipients of proceeds of crime. Do we have any more details of who these private individuals are?
So, I can just go through some names, which says that, there is a company called Gerber, this is Messrs. Pernod Ricard. This is one company which we can go through. So there are many names. I just need 5-7 minutes to go through this, and maybe I can help you with more details. But it certainly mentions, I can see here, it mentions about details of names of about Manish Sisodia. It names Arav Gopi Krishna, the then Commissioner, Anand Tiwari, the then Deputy Excise Commissioner of Delhi, Pankaj Bhatnagar, Assistant Commissioner Excise, Vijay Nair, former CEO of Only Much Louder, an entertainment and event management company. Crescent, then it talks about Shri Manoj Rai, ex-employee of Pernod Ricard, a company. Again, Amardeep Dhal, director of Brindco Sales Private Limited. It also mentions about Samir Mahindru of Indo Spirit Group, Amit Arora of Buddy Retail Private Limited. It also mentions about Dinesh Arora. That was the name that we were all talking about. He is basically the owner of La Roca restaurants, and he stays in Gurjawala town. Then it talks about Mahadev Liquors. It talks about Sunny Marwa, the authorized signatory of Mahadev Liquors. Then it also talks about Arun Ramachandra Pillai of he stays at 10 Vaishnavi Orchard, Sarjanpur Road behind. It's somewhere in Karnataka. So, there are so many names where the searches have happened, and the FIR mentions all these names.
Okay, Ashish, I'll give you a couple of minutes to go through the fine print as far as this FIR copy is concerned. We are the only channel who've accessed the CBI's FIR copy. Manish Sisodia has been named as an accused. My colleague Arunima also now joining us with more details. Arunima, the other individuals that Ashish was mentioning, like Dinesh Arora and others, what is their connection as far as the excise policy that was implemented in the national capital?
So what the CBI has said in its FIR is that Manish Sisodia, Arvind Gopi Krishnan, Anand Tiwari, Pankaj Bhatnagar, they were all instrumental in recommending and taking decisions pertaining to the excise policy without approval of the competent authority, with an intention to extend undue favor. So not only was the competent authority not informed, but this was done also to ensure undue favors were given to the other accused. Now, specifically about the role of each one, what the CBI in its FIR is saying is that Vijay Nair, who's the former CEO of an entertainment company and who later joined Aam Aadmi Party in their social media team, Manoj Rai, who's an ex-employee of a company called Pernod Ricard, other accused, Amandeep Dhal, who's also the owner of one of the liquor companies, Samir Mahendru, again a liquor company owner. All of them got involved in irregularities in framing and implementation of the excise policy of Delhi. CBI then goes on to say that our sources have further revealed that some of the L1 license holders are issuing credit notes to retail vendors with an intention to divert the funds as undue pecuniary advantage to public servants. Now, this is what we had reported this afternoon also. The allegation against Dinesh Arora was that he was taking commission in lieu of these L1 licenses. This is what the BJP had alleged. The CBI is now including it in its FIR, that these L1 licenses were issued in return for commission, and this commission was then directed to public servants. Now, is this the Aam Aadmi Party, as the BJP is alleging, or are these the bureaucrats? That we'll have to wait for CBI to clarify. It also goes on to say that their false entries and accounts were shown in the books to keep the record straight. This was the charge against Mr. Nair, that he was indulging in layering of the entire excise policy so that it could avoid scrutiny. Amit Arora, who's another director of a liquor company, his associates Arjun Pandey are close associates of Manish Sisodia and are actively involved in managing and diverting the undue pecuniary advantage collected from liquor licensees to the accused public servant. That's the third charge that the CBI is making, and it is going on to say that all these private players who have been named, for Dinesh Arora, for example, one particular line that the FIR says, sources further reveal that Samir Mahendru, who is the MD of Indo Spirits, had transferred an amount of 1 crore to an account which belongs or is being managed by Dinesh Arora. So that's the first figure that CBI has put out. 1 crore was allegedly transferred into the account of one of the accused. This accused is being suspected of wrongdoing, of collecting commission in lieu of granting these licenses. Then the CBI FIR says that Arun Ramchandra Pillai, another suspect, used to collect undue pecuniary advantage from Samir Mahendru and pass it on to public servants through Vijay Nair. So this is the money trail whereby the liquor companies who were getting the license, they would transfer the money to these people who were the middlemen, so to say, and these middlemen would then ensure that the money reached the accounts of the public servants. That's what the CBI has said. Now, Ponti Chadda's name has also figured. It says that sources have informed that Messrs. Mahadev Liquors, a proprietorship firm, was granted L1 license. Sunny Marwa is the authorized signatory of this firm. He's also the director of the firm managed by Ponti Chadda's company. So the linkages is quite deep, is what CBI is saying. It has got prima facie evidence of how this entire alleged conspiracy was worked out, how the pecuniary benefits were reaching the public servants, and what exactly was the money trail.
So, Arunima, very crucial details now emerging as far as this FIR is concerned. One, Manish Sisodia has been named as an accused, but it's also now detailing the money trail and how this nexus actually functioned. The other crucial aspect of what the FIR also says is that there was no nod or approval as far as the LG is concerned, and that's why the LG wanted to raise that red flag, and then which eventually led to the CBI raids.
It's only one part of the charge. I mean, I would say that's the bare minimum that the CBI is saying, that you did not take the required authorization. But the substantive offences, the substantive charges are much more serious. Section 7 of the PC Act has been invoked here. Also, IPC Section 477. Essentially, what is being alleged here is that Section 7 says it relates to public servant taking bribe or an illegal gratification. So directly accepting bribery is the charge against the accused. And since Manish Sisodia has been named, this is the section accepting bribe, which is being made by CBI against him as well. For a party which started off as an anti-corruption crusader, for a party which has always said we are the cleanest, for them to be accused of taking bribe directly in an FIR where their minister is named, is very, very damaging for them. And as far as the other sections are concerned, what Section 477 of IPC
Okay. Arunima, I just apologize for interrupting. Please stay on with us. Our colleague Ashish is also now joining us, and he's going to now show us the FIR copy. Talk to us about who all are named as accused and how did money change hands?
So this is something really, really important which we are going to see here as of now. What it says is, sources further revealed that Shri Arun Ramchandra Pillai used to collect undue pecuniary advantage from Shri Samir Mahindru, MD Messrs Indo-Spirit, for onward transmission to accused public servants through Shri Vijay Nair. A person named Arjun Pandey has once collected huge amount of cash, anything between 2 to 4 crores from Shri Samir Mahindru on behalf of Vijay Nair. Now, another important aspect, it says that sources further reveal that Shri Amit Arora, director of Buddy Retail Private Limited, and it is housed in Gurgaon, this company, and with Dinesh Arora and Arjun Pandey are close associates of Shri Manish Sisodia and are actively involved in managing and diverting the undue pecuniary advantage collected from liquor license to accused public servants. Sources further reveal that Shri Samir Mahindru, MD, Indo-Spirit has transferred an amount of 1 crore to account number this of Radha Industries maintained with UCO Bank, Rajendra Place, New Delhi. Messrs Radha Industries is being managed by Shri Dinesh Arora. So this is the man we were talking about in the morning as well, that he runs a restaurant called La Roca in Aero City. And further, again, more important, it says, it further informed that Mahadev Liquors, a company proprietorship firm, was granted L1 license. Sunny Marwa is the authorized signatory of the firm. Sunny Marwa is also director in firms being managed by a family of late Ponti Chadda. Sources has informed that Sunny Marwa is in close contact with accused public servant and has been regularly giving undue pecuniary advantage to them. So this is what the crux of the matter is. It names Ponti Chadda's close associate as well. It maintains on how the money was going. They were talking about a person called Marwa, Samir Marwa. Now let me tell you, Samir Marwa and Gitika Marwa, very important person. They both were blacklisted in the year 2019. Further, in our next bulletin, maybe we will reveal on how they basically misused or created layers to basically get a license. This person, Marwa, has been, Mahindru is basically the both husband and wife. They both were blacklisted. Samir Mahindru and Gitika Mahindru, they both were blacklisted in the year 2019 by the department, the excise department, for stealing basically or selling liquor without excise, and that is why they were blacklisted. But they further managed to get a license, and again this man was basically bribing public officials. That is what the claim of CBI is. So this is something really, really interesting which is coming out. This basically document proves, or you can say it alleges, that on how money was basically being moved from in cash from one place to another. Even the bribe money was getting into the bank account now.
Correct.
This is what it says. If you see this, if you see Samir Mahindru, MD Indo-Spirits, had transferred amount of 1 crore to account of this number of Messrs Radha Industries maintained with UCO Bank, Rajendra Place, New Delhi. Now Messrs Radha Industries is being managed by Dinesh Arora. This is the important man, and we all know what it says. It says that Dinesh Arora was basically the man. Dinesh Arora was basically the man who was collecting money and distributing money among public servants. So this is something really, really interesting which is coming out of the FIR.
Correct. Ashish, I'll request you to stay on with us. I'll request Arunama also to stay on with us. Some very serious allegations that are now getting more clarity as far as these raids were concerned. How money changed hands, Manish Sisodia being named as an accused. We'll keep tracking all these developments. For now, slipping into a very short break.
17 weeks of unbeaten leadership. CNN News 18 shatters TRP records. CNN News 18, on your side.
Party leaders who are clearly saying at this point in time that BJP is, in fact, central government is misusing central agencies, and after Satyen Jain, Manish Sisodia is the minister who is targeted as of now.
So the big story this morning onwards, Manish Sisodia's residence has CBI officials raiding. There are other raids also being carried out in Punjab, in Telangana, in Daman and Diu, in other parts of Delhi and NCR. Sanjay Singh, the Aam Aadmi Party member of Parliament, has spoken on this matter. Let's listen in.
मसला क्या है? मसला ये है कि कल दिल्ली के शिक्षा मॉडल की मनीष सिसोदिया जी की पहले पेज पे फोटो छपी अमेरिका के न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में। परेशानी इससे होती भारतीय जनता पार्टी को कि दिल्ली का शिक्षा मॉडल, मनीष सिसोदिया का शिक्षा मॉडल, केजरीवाल का शिक्षा मॉडल कैसे पूरे दुनिया में प्रचारित हो रहा है। इसलिए स्वास्थ्य मंत्री को जेल में डालो, अब शिक्षा मंत्री के ऊपर कार्रवाई करो। तो इन कार्रवाइयों में कुछ निकलना नहीं है और ये बात बिल्कुल स्पष्ट हो गई कि मोदी जी की लड़ाई कोई भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ नहीं है। उनकी लड़ाई सीधे तौर पे केजरीवाल और विपक्ष के खिलाफ है जो वो कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं।
क्या रणनीति रहेगी आम आदमी पार्टी के आगे सर, और आपको क्या लगता है कि ये आम आदमी की छवि धूमिल करने के लिए की जा रही है?
लगातार वही कोशिश हो रही है, पहले भी यही कोशिश हुई। छवि धूमिल करने के अलावा बताइए और है क्या? नीरव मोदी 20,000 करोड़ लूट के बैठा है, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। 9,000 करोड़ लूट के भाग गया विजय माल्या, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। नितिन संदेशरा 6,000 करोड़ लूट के बैठा, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। 3,000 करोड़ लेके ललित मोदी लूट के बैठा, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। 42,000 करोड़ का घोटाला डीएचएफएल ने किया जिससे 29 करोड़ रुपए बीजेपी ने चंदा लिया है, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। एबीजी शिपयार्ड में 23,000 करोड़ का घोटाला हुआ, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। अडानी के पोर्ट पे हजारों करोड़ की ड्रग्स पकड़ी गई, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करते। कितनी कार्रवाइयां बताऊं? येदियुरप्पा के खिलाफ कुछ हुआ? व्यापम घोटाले में कुछ हुआ? कुछ हुआ इन चीजों में, इन घोटालों में? रेड्डी ब्रदर्स पे कुछ हुआ? गए जेल वो लोग? हुई कोई कार्रवाई? तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का असली चेहरा पूरे देश और दुनिया के सामने बेनकाब हो रहा है।
So that was senior MP Sanjay Singh speaking to CNN News 18, where he has said that all this is being done to demolish the image or the corruption-free image of the Aam Aadmi Party. Now it remains to be seen these raids that have been going on since 8 a.m. What comes out of these raids, and if the Aam Aadmi Party can actually put out its defense on this attack by the central agencies.
उस लूट की बात दिल्ली की जनता कर रही थी, गली गली में महिलाएं कर रही थी, बच्चे कर रहे थे, मंदिरों के सामने, मस्जिदों के सामने, गुरुद्वारों के सामने, देवालयों के सामने बैठे हुए लोग, जहां शराब की दुकानें खुल रही थी, गली गली में शराब की दुकान खोल रही थी, सभी इसकी बात कर रहे थे और पुकार कर रहे थे कि ये बड़ी लूट है, एक बड़ी साजिश है, इस पे इसका दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होना चाहिए। आज जब से सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हुई, सीबीआई की आज रेड पड़ी है, अब इनको इसमें क्या परेशानी हो रही है कि जो भी हुआ है उसका दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो।
Akash Sharma is joining me live from Manish Sisodia's residence. Rupashri is tracking the Aam Aadmi Party's reaction. Ananya Bhatnagar is at the residence of the Lieutenant Governor. First to you, Akash, any update that you have for us? I believe CBI officials are scrutinizing whatever files, documents they can lay their hands on at Mr. Sisodia's residence.
So, Arunima, this is the only information that we have, that CBI officers are very much inside this particular house. And if I can ask my VJ Vikas to show you the visual, this is the official residence of Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. And we are learning that around 8 to 8:15, CBI officers reached this particular place. And since then, they are looking for some document, some official document, and are searching this particular place. Also, we are learning that other than this place, 21 other locations are also there. In fact, we are learning that all those 11 officers who were suspended just a few days back are being searched as of now, and 21 locations. This is what we have learned. Further, Aam Aadmi Party is calling it a vendetta politics, and on the other hand, we are seeing BJP, which is calling it a routine investigation, normal investigation, because they are saying that central government has nothing to do with it. CBI is doing its work. Also, this all started with the recommendation that were initiated by a Lieutenant Governor, where it was said that some financial quid pro quo happened in the excise policy that was implemented in November 2021, and talking about that particular policy, the whole Delhi was divided into 32 zones, and then licenses were given. Initially, it was decided that now we'll be having, liquor shops in the unauthorized colonies as well. But later, we had an argument where Aam Aadmi Party said that initially it was, passed, but later, some questions were raised on the particular point where it was said that now, even unauthorized colonies will be seeing the liquor shops. And that's the reason why we are, hearing the name of previous LG of Delhi, Anil Baijal, because they are saying that Anil Baijal at last point raised some sort of question, and that's the reason why they could not open shops in the authorized colonies. And that's the reason why those who were provided with these licenses, they went to court, and that's the reason why, we face some sort of loss in the exchequer. Also, at this point in time, we are seeing some political developments.
Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. We here at CNN News 18 have accessed the CBI's FIR, which is named Manish Sisodia as an accused. Sensational details coming out of that FIR copy. We'll bring you those details in just a bit. But before that, we want to talk to you about the key players as far as this liquor gate scam is concerned. Let's break down those details. First, of course, is Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister as far as Delhi is concerned, accused of deliberate procedural lapses. There were raids at his residence, and 9 hours on those raids continue. Officials are still present at his residence. Let's talk about player number 2. Arava Gopi Krishna, former Excise Commissioner, accused of serious lapses in implementation, once again raided as far as the CBI is concerned. The third player, Anand Tiwari, ex-Deputy Excise Commissioner, accused of irregularities in finalizing tender, raided by the CBI once again. Fourth player, Pankaj Bhatnagar, ex-Assistant Excise Commissioner, accused of giving post-tender benefits, once again under the scanner as far as the CBI is concerned. Now let's talk to you about those sensational details that we've accessed as far as the FIR copy is concerned. My colleague Ashish Maharishi is now back with us. Ashish, first talk to us about who all have been named as accused and what is the money amount that we're looking at that exchange hands.
So around 15 people have been named as accused, including some companies as well. This include Manish Sisodia, Arvind Gopi Krishna, Anand Tiwari, Pankaj Bhatnagar, Vijay Nair, Manoj Rai, Amardeep Dhal, Sameer Mahendru, Amit Arora, Buddy Retail, Dinesh Arora, Mahadev Liquors, Sunny Marwa, Arun Ramachandra Pillai, Arjun Pandey, and various other government servants. That is what the list of names is. Now, interestingly, the FIR copy is also attached with the recommendation or the letter that was written by the LG to the Home Secretary, Mr. Bhalla. Now, it says, decision taken at the level of Council of Ministers modifying the excise policy without obtaining the opinion of Lieutenant Governor as mandated by the recent amendments in Government of NCT of Delhi Act 1991 and orders dated 28/4/2021 of Lieutenant Governor Secretariat and Transaction of Business of GNCTD rules. Now, this is something really, really important. It says, in this regard, it is to inform that the major changes in annual license fee and changes in methodology to calculate the license fee were approved by Cabinet Decision number 3009 dated 23/6/2021, but this matter was not submitted for the opinion of Lieutenant Governor. So this is something really interesting which is coming out, and it says that Lieutenant Governor did not give an approval. It was the entire policy was given approval by the Cabinet, and the decision number is 3009 dated 23/6/2021. Now, this is something, again, very important, and it says, decision taken by the Excise Department without the approval of competent authority to extend undue favor to the licensee post-tender. Now, this, again, is something very important, and it has obviously come to light earlier as well, that there is an EMD, that is earnest money deposit that has to be deposited. Now, here it was 30 crore rupees of earnest money deposit, which was given to a company. It was refunded. Now, it says the department decided to refund EMD amounting to rupees 30 crore in case of license of airport zone, as the successful tender was not able to obtain NOC from airport authorities. Now, if the EMD was basically submitted and it cannot be given back, this is an absolute violation of the law. Earnest money deposit cannot be refunded. This is what something the government of NCT of Delhi has to answer, because this cannot be done.
Okay.
The excise rules very clearly say that the successful tenderer should complete all formalities of grant of licensing. Failing, all deposits made by him shall stand forfeited by the government. So here the money has been refunded. This is something really surprising, that the money that should have been forfeited, 30 crore rupees, has been refunded to the party.
Correct. Ashish, keep tracking those developments for us. We'll continue to break those details emerging out of that FIR copy. We have to slip into a very short break. We're coming back with lots more.